Granted, I don't consider the E-Class container to be like a loosened command situation, even though he kind of is in the command group again. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Infinite Ryvius. After today, there will only be 2 episodes left. It's kind of hard to believe how fast this has gone. I mean, we've only been watching like an episode a week, so technically this has been like 20-something weeks. So we've been at this a really long time. But every time I go back and rewatch an episode, it's like how much stuff has happened, right? I feel like everything is packed, even though, granted, some of these episodes really linger on the emotionality of the interpersonal connections of these characters and like the insanity of what we come to term the fixed backyard effect and what it's been causing these people to do to one another. Like, I feel like you could just make a show about a bunch of people locked in a room and it would have the same effect as this, except, you'd be doing things to make him go crazy. I'm assuming there's like some sort of reality show like that. Maybe Solitary, an old Fox reality TV show. Anyway, we're getting close to the end, and I legit don't know how this is going to end. I've guessed before that Conrad is just going to show up and kill them all, being one. I guess they could show up at Uranus and maybe have a good thing happen there. The fact that Fina is the one pushing for that and Fina's literally gone crazy, I have no idea. Anyway, I'm not even in my notes yet. Let's go ahead and go into comments, because we got some comments from today. First up, we have Yuki from the Patreon, from the episode Torn Apart. You know what? All of these comments are going to be from the episode Torn Apart, so just keep that in head. This episode's insane. Yeah, Fina killed 2 people at least. Yep. When I was taking down these comments and people were saying how crazy Fina was, I completely forgot, or didn't put in no, I did completely forget the idea that we saw her choking to death 2 people at least, and I just didn't think about it. I did wonder, hey, where did these people go during the course of the show? Well, that answers it. One of them anyway, has been dead this whole time. Let's see here. Next one. Hagane no Tema, also from the Patreon. It's pretty much implied she killed her ex-boyfriend and her friend from Titania back in the Liba Delta. I don't know. Well, no, the Liba Delta one. Sorry. Her friend died during the event that they were putting together back when Blue's gang had taken over. And Blue didn't take over during Liba Delta. Blue took over during the Ryvius. So that's when she would have been killed. I guess the ex-boyfriend would have been back on Titania, though. I have no idea, but in context. But I guess, did she just get away with it? Because we flash back also to a scene where we look at her monitor and it says my messages. And I don't know if that's meant to imply that, hey, we found where you are or something. Also, I guess her friend wasn't super concerned. Like, her friends were shocked to see her, but never did anything about it. Like, we never got to see her talk or anything either. So, I don't know. Slightly confusing. But, ultimately just context. Context for her insanity, which I'd been calling from day one. Well, not day one, sorry. I had been calling for some time now. I guess maybe ever since she was a cult leader. Anyway. Last comment we have here is from Sergeant Pepper, also from the Patreon. One thing I thought you might or might not notice on your own rewatch of last episode is the fact that Stein was in fact masturbating at the back of the bridge when Akumi was making his statement using the vital garter. LOL. Also, FYI, They show a scene where Yuki was walking to the lift ship with Colin, saying something like, "I'll show the crucial difference between you and me," right after he failed to take Aoi away from Koji. That's why Yuki and Colin happened to be on the lift ship as well when Ikumi was taking over the Vital Garter. Koji knows Nia's name because Nia properly introduced herself to Koji, is where all the audience also get to finally know her name. That being said, during the scene at the end of episode 7, where the Ryvius first encountered a Vaya in the middle of the adult, which you briefly mentions, the Vaya says, "Nia." I don't know how to read what you said there. It's Nia. As it rapidly flew by the Ryvius, which causes a tremor on the Ryvius, which led to Koji and Feina's first kiss. Anyways, this episode is probably my favorite episode, especially the scene where Nia gets pissed and directly intervenes in someone's personal affair for the first time. Thanks for another great reaction video. I will say I did not hear that when the ship flew past the Ryvius. I'm assuming you mean the scene where they said like a space squid or something flew past the ship, and everyone is like, "You're just fucking insane." And then at the time, I was asking, is that a ship at all? Or is that actually going to be like there's life in the adult? And, turned out to be it was actually life in the adult. So, yeah, no idea. I've never heard that. But again, I feel like this show is filled with so much stuff that even though I'm watching every episode twice, there's still stuff I would like pick out if I were to rewatch it again, especially with the context of what the character relationships turn out to be later on in the show that I would never have seen coming. Like, even though this was described to me as like Lord of the Flies in space, somehow just did not anticipate things going this way. What else was there? The fact that you're pointing out that Yuki and Cullen were walking towards the ships talking about stuff, fair enough. I asked how they got there. You answered. 100% you're right. I kind of remember that now, but I guess I just didn't really understand or figure where they were heading at the time. In regards to Stein, I mean, fuck that guy. Stein, for one thing, I guess I should have started disliking Stein when he turned his back on my boy Luxon, but I figured that was more of a connection to their past. The fact that Luxon's dad had apparently taken Stein in to try and educate him, give him more of an opportunity, and then Stein turns his back on Luxon the moment the Ryvius is independent, and now Stein has basically been like puppeteering and generally trying to abuse everybody the entire path forwards. So, fuck that guy. End of the day. Anyway, those are the comments. We, of course, have a board. And as always, there will be a more visible version of the board in the links where any of the time the video gets posted. But along with the board, we have the board changelog. I removed Ran and Julie from the Zwei, because obviously, what happened? I connected Ran to Stein with a red line, because obviously, even regardless of the slap, Stein is up to no fucking good, so. I added a new E-Class faction, much less a faction, more of a grouping everybody got forced into. Comprised of Julie, Ran, Koji, Aoi, Nyx, Charlie, Lilith, Luxon, Emerson, Pat, Johnson, Charlotte, Kiki, Raiden, and Kriff. Don't think I missed anybody, especially because I had to mark them all on the board as I saw them in the backgrounds of the episode. I marked Sandy as dead, the second person I've marked dead all show. And I changed the white line from Koji to Ikumi to red. The dude shot him. I mean, don't get much more red than that. And so here are then the notes. So, start of the episode, we are in a fight with a ship that they say is just like the Ryvius, which would indicate that it must also be a Vaya ship. The fact they say it is breaking up and we don't see any shots of Conrad would seem to indicate that this isn't his ship. So I'm left to wonder, is this one of the 2 unnamed ships out of the 6 that we know of? As per my last episode's notes about the guy in the park talking about 6 Via ships, and we've only gotten the names of 4 Via ships so far. Granted, I don't remember if he mentioned I think I included the Ryvius in the list, so that would still be 2 unnamed. They just destroyed 1. I don't know why I thumbs up there. I meant to count 1, and it was dumb. It was dumb. It seems that the only people who are receiving second chances under Akumi's watch are the new Guardian faction. That's interesting because the majority of people leading the Guardians are former Blue Gang and other supervisors. People that have already been given second chances multiple times before. I don't know if that gives any insight into Akumi's mental state, or is just happenstance of him using anyone available to him. This would be after the supervisors took the brunt of blame for Blue's leadership, and then whatever people they could fill into supervisor's role a second time after that. Guardians would be those people filling the power vacuum after that. Essentially Michelle and Blue remnants, and I guess Akumi's cult of personality. Ritos is a new name drop for whatever religion Fina follows. We know it centers around Holy Mother Arn, and there was Aisha before. Though I will say not that it much matters because, Fina self-acknowledges that she has gone against the teachings of Holy Mother Arn, so her little cult that she's spreading her religion by with it is kind of false on that narrative as well. I feel like the Aoi situation has only gotten weirder. And I don't mean because of the moment that they shared last episode or the episode before. Izumi essentially shunned Aoi for wanting both Yuki and Koji. Well, Yuki wasn't there when she needed him, and Koji expressed that he loved her in no uncertain terms. With that, she's still asking about Yuki and seems almost off-put that Koji is admitting his love. I feel like Aoi engenders sympathy by default, but what if Izumi was right, and having to settle for one isn't what she wants? She could end up ruining her relationships with both of them in search of something that just cannot be. Akumi says to scale back the level of violence needed to enforce the rules aboard the ship, and the first real thing we see being done is Nyx being trapped in a bag for oversleeping. I mean, I guess that follows the letter of the law, but I'd have to think it would just piss most people off. I mean, unless you are claustrophobic, it would just be super annoying, let alone belittling. Stein used to have ideas that at least made a little sense. Like, rations for work only starts to break down once you start offering sticks rather than carrots. Beyond the whole infinite rations for the ruling class thing, not sure how that didn't cause a riot on its own. Now segregating the people based on ability, that doesn't even make sense to start with. They don't introduce us to the concept that that productivity is down because of X reasons that would have been solved by such a thing. Let's punish X for X reason. Stein is just getting off on human suffering. Despite Nea's insight into his desire for perfection, he's just completely lost sight of even his own motivations. As I said before, under Luxon's command, everyone had a voice. Even if in the moment they couldn't share an idea, I understand that in a moment you might need someone to make the hard choices without time to debate. But these are long-term choices being made with that same in-the-moment thought process, with no open forum for ideas. I'd argue that this is the same level that Blue ran the ship, even worse in fact, after everyone gets sealed in the hold. Blue pointed guns at individuals, Stein is holding a gun at most of the crew. Same with Akumi. I guess to some aspect, Yuki. Honestly, if I was Ran and had just hit Stein, the moment he got up and started smug talking, getting someone to get the Guardians, I would have been on top of him, pummeling him till the Guardians arrived. Man's a problem, and maybe with some broken fingers he'd be much less of one. And yes, I know, solving problems with violence is no option, but we can all see the writing on the wall. We are in a dictatorship right now, and they won't be abdicating that power anytime soon. Unfortunately, sometimes action is the only thing you can do for everyone's sakes. Look, I'm creeped out by Rand's relationship with Pat still. Even then, when Pat looks all excited and looks in Rand's direction and she lights up, noticing what she thinks is him looking at her, and he shouts, "Julie!" because she's right behind him, slap in the face to Rand. Also, I want to point out this is the first time I think I ever have written LOL in my notes because I don't say LOL out loud. So having written it, I must have written this real late. I don't know. Also, granted, whatever's going on could be far less creepy than I think. Rand could be feeling maternal and wants to take care of Pat for all I know. Yuki is just the worst. Anytime he raises just a little bit in my estimation, he does something stupid to shoot back down again. The worst part about it all is that he can't be explained by the Sphinx's backyard effect. We've gotten enough Yuki flashbacks to know he was always an asshole. We might have gotten more of a motivation for it, but not enough to make up for his actions. And my last note here, when Kouji gets shot, Nea is standing next to a wall with the following written over it. Road to Hell, Judgment Day, Dragonfire, Crazy, Divive, Hungry, and the abbreviation LIVE. She'd get her hand over top of it, like pointed out across it. That's when she jumps in, as the comment before indicated, to interfere with Fina's actions. Although it was not much of a direct interference, like Fina is about to start choking Kouji to death, because apparently that's Fina's one move. And she just starts talking down, Nea starts talking down Fina. Not like talking down, I mean like talking down to her. Fina could have just kept choking him to death. Like, I don't know that Nea would have physically interfered. And not for nothing, Nea did not interfere when Ikumi shot Kouji just moments before. Like, Koji's bleeding on the ground. You see the blood trail where he pulled himself to the wall. And then Fina's like pushed in his bleeding ass arm all over the place so that he's screaming in pain. Nea does not show up for any of that. She just shows up for the choking, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Don't have much else to say other than to say, let's go ahead and hop on into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, so we're still all locked up in the E sector. I think the implication is the person that Fina sent in after Aoi also tried to choke Aoi. You regret your brother getting shot? That is a Via ship. I'm sorry, I don't know if that's a Via ship. That is... Do we name the ships? Ship creature things that are in a Gadol? Sorry, I also don't think I mentioned the fact that they're heading towards a big old open area of space. That's in the level 7 of the Gadult, which is lower than any other ship has been other than the Ryvius, I believe. But actually, I don't think a lot of thoughts I'm having now that I didn't write before. The element that the episode started with them fighting another ship, where it seemed like they were on the surface of the Gadult, and that they've gone down 7 levels of the Gadult without mentioning anything on screen. You know, the fact that it has... Never mind. Thoughts about the opening don't make any sense anymore. I think that's actually the first person that Nea has actually physically interacted with. She did carry him. So, that's a thing. What I was talking about with Yuki is the fact he's up against the wall like this, while letting Akumi go past, which means he's physically having some sort of separation between the person he's been agreeing with. Again, Akumi is the one who shot his brother. He beats the shit out of his brother constantly. But I have to think somebody else shooting your brother has to be the separating factor there. There was ship wreckage there. Right, those are the alien ships. Again, as much as he hates his brother, I don't think he wants his brother to actually fucking die. This is gonna be Conrad's ship? Yep, there we go. Conrad's ship. Well, that's much more the Conrad appearance I'm used to seeing. Well, you know there's a gun. There we go, that's the Luxon that I need. Oh, thanks for reminding me. I forgot that I was a nurse. God damn it, Reiko, you're in the cult now, too. I mean, granted, if you believe there's anything like a god, you looked at the god of the ship. So, like a black hole? This thing makes black holes? Always the same arm, too. That's weird.
ってば私バカだし他の人に頼んでよ。
君しかいないんだ。人の命が
Yeah, literally, this is a is there another pilot on the plane situation.
しないよ。
僕も手伝う。一緒にコウジ君を助けよう。
でもお願い、コウジを助けて。どうしたの？
I may have shot and killed a man.
私を守ってね。
当然だよ。俺は何だってする。
Literally
で
anything.
きるさ。けどさ、今度の敵はなんかヤバそうなんだ。一緒に来てほしい。
外に出るの？
君を守るためなんだ。
わかった。一緒に行く。あなたのこと。
I don't know how this pans out well.
ありがとう。その言葉だけで十分です。
館内の皆さんにお伝えします。先ほど確認した正体不明の物体を私たちは敵と断定しました。これより戦闘に突入します。戦闘要員の方はまずに外壁部に近い隔壁を閉鎖します。繰り返します。館内の皆さんにお伝えします。先ほど確認
A の34よ。
マリー。
さっきからぼーっとしてらしくないよ。
Again, this is like the worst situation the ship has ever been in.
なるほど。
The worst command
こういうルー
crew.
トがあったのか。
ここから先は
The characters are at their worst points.
捕まるかもしれないから。ユイリー来ちゃダメよ。ラン、パッとお願い。わかった。
俺も行くぜ。なんかあったらやばいだろ。
でも
大丈夫。僕にいい考えがあるから。何？
もう一度各ラインのレスポンスを確かめてみる。バーチャルのコントロールシグナルを送ってみてくれ。いや、そこじゃない。
Again, this is how stuff was when Luxon was in command.
リフト間のデタッチ
Granted, I don't consider the E-Class container to be like a Luxon command situation, even though he kind of is in the command group again.
あの女。おい、何してる？戦闘準備中なんだぞ。私はツバイのケビン・グリーン。イクミさんの指示で極秘な作業をしている。極秘だから秘密だ。そうか。
Luxon, I appreciate any goddamn thing you do.
うまくいったでしょ。ああ。
指示してください。サポートします。まず傷の確認をしないと。
スキャンの準備をすればいいのね。
それでいいと思う。
I do also appreciate the Criff redemption arc. Like, somehow the Sphinx backyard effect made certain people better than what they were.
敵艦がさらに加速しました。
おぜ、バイタルガードは発進まで7分。
間に合わない。敵が出ました。
マイナス2800マイナス1と10のマイナス5乗。直ちにエクスパンド両レーダーで前方をスキャン。
やっぱ同型艦だ。また交差接触かよ。
Well, of course, the final ship would be a Ryvius Mark II, or whatever.
小さくなってる。黙って。接触まであと3分。
I'm surprised all the adult aliens aren't doing anything here. Sorry, did this thing shatter inside of him, or did they just shoot him multiple times? Oh, it's probably like a flechette bullet sort of thing.
おい、ケビンはブリッジにいたぞ。バレた。
あと30秒。
お前は誰だ。何をやってる。ここを開けろ。もうダメだ。早く開けないか。おい。
目標の回復パターン完全に同時
Oh, who was this? Is it Johnson?
兄貴。
死にたくない。
エネルギーをセーリングフィールドの総角に集中。
Sorry, the dark suited figure that was walking up next to the Guardians.
死にたくない。死にたくないよ。
Ryvius. Sorry, I don't know what to do with these like interstitial segments. That's some real ass damage. Oh, actually, I thought that was the other ship. Sorry, this is the Black Ryvius. Surprisingly, she didn't get knocked around.
あとは止血をするだけね。そっちは
外静かになったけど。
びっくりして逃げたんじゃないのか。
Oh, Blue. Obviously, it was fucking Blue. I don't know why I guessed whoever I guessed. We saw him rush and roll through a closing door before. We didn't really mention that much.
バイタルガーダーを発信させるぞ。無理言うなよ。衝撃で端末が半分ぶっ飛んでんだ。
データをシフトする時間がいるよ。
くそ。
相手もダメージを受けていると考えれば多少の余裕はあります。
いかが
敵に向かっていくのか。怒らせたんじゃ。
なんでもいいじゃん。やっちゃえ。そのまま突っ込め。
Yeah, I've asked why they weren't doing anything. Well, now they are. Oh, okay, so it's the Black Ryvius versus the Gray Gespinst. Are they merging? It seems like the Sphinx is doing it, yeah, on purpose.
イカを吸収しやがった。あんなのと戦おうってのか。ありえません。こんな非科学的な。私は認めません。
It's very super robot genre.
この区域での戦闘はこちらが圧倒的に不利です。撤退を進言します。私はあんなものを見ていたくはない。分かった。通常空間へ緊急浮上しろ。
どうして
I don't know how that would help, though.
そんなに憎むの。悪いことなんて何もしてないのに。
Well, Conrad hates. I don't know why the others, Sphinx would.
死にたくない。生き延びたい。死ぬのは嫌だ。痛いのは嫌い。そう。わかるよ。私も同じ気持ちだよ。
It's hard to figure out when Nea is thinking other people's thoughts or thinking their own thoughts.
これだと半日もしないうちに通常空間に出ます。
逃げられるわよね。
うまくいったらキスしようぜ。
いいわよ。
おい。
That's not a connection I saw coming.
またか。船の後ろどうなってんだよ。今度の敵はやばいんだろ。俺たちもリフトガンに入れてくれよ。
守るって言ってたじゃない。
また見殺しか。開けろってんだ。
開けてよ。
ヘイガー、艦内にいる全員をリフト艦に避難させてくれ。メインルーム下の格納庫なら収容できるはずだ。
わかりました。ではクラス A の生徒から誘導を開始します。
艦内に降りてる核兵器をクラスごとにあげるよ。
ほら、クラス A のやつから順に入れ。
Of course you would. Like the fucking Titanic.
なあ、ブルーが来たらどうするんだ。来ねえよ。ここにいる全員が敵だ。俺たちも含めてな。ま、来てくれた方が
Blue could kick both of your asses.
嬉しいけどよ。
コウジ君の容体は。
やるだけのことはやったわ。あとは相葉君次第。待つしかないわ、私たちは。
I mean, it's good to know that Blue is kind of redeeming himself. I feel less bad about Blue as I did when he was in charge, let's say.
好きなの。コウジが好きなの。だから
Okay, that's panning out too. The concerns I expressed about her wanting both.
あれ惑星が見えるよ。
太陽の大きさから距離を計算すると間違いありません。天王星です。
今のリバイアスの能力なら1日もかからない距離だ。
どうするチック？
いやあピンガーに反応。
そんなもう追いついてきたの？
Yeah, why would it be slowed down?
海面突破を確認。全レーダーシステム復帰。
Oh, right, because of all the squids. I forgot.
開始しました。バイクレーダーセクターゼロをスキャン。目標位置を即時代。見苦しい。また逃げるつもりか。ブラチカー。
I just don't know what them merging with it does to benefit it. I guess actually they become projectiles.
バイタルガーダーが出た。フィールドが持ちません。我々も今のうちにリフト艦へ移動しましょう。
ああ行こうぜ。バルツキャノンのクルーはコートで切り離すようにしてありますから。
各駅は時間差で全部上がるはずだよ。ちょっと待って。
今ミシェルちゃんじゃなかった。逃げるのが先だろう。
Yeah, I mean, don't wait for other people to help you. Oh, never mind. Busted ankle, I didn't anticipate that.
まさか。
Okay, so things are being lifted on timers, but the assholes and the Guardians are stealing other ones.
スフィクスとの連動は相手の方が上だということを忘れるな。
避難状況は？
すべて完了しました。
They don't think it
我々は
is.
サポートのためそちらに上がります。
本当にみんな逃げてきてんだな。
はい。
人がいないね。
ガーディアンズは倒れてたし、どうなってんの？
おーい大変だ。ユイリリフト艦がみんなを乗せて発進したらしい。
低みのやつ本気で俺らを見捨てやがった。
Do you think it could be a matter that the lift ship gets destroyed, and then all those people and the only people that survive are the people left behind on the Ryvius, who then make it to Uranus? Or Titania, rather?
持ってしまったってよ。
ここで死ぬのかよ。
ファイナさん、私たちを過去にしたの。
私、もう行き場がない。
ウィンディ隊、サーフェス隊はブラチカを制圧。アインバルトはカイストが迎撃する。レーダークロープラス 160%。重力フィールド展開。傾斜角62。
It's like a melting.
各システム。
敵がバイタルガーダーを出すぞ。
It's really a Gundam versus a mobile armor.
バルジの残弾は
ウエストロック、イースト4。
クライス、あなたのところでサブソリッドを統括してください。サブルーム7番、12番、13番、17番、19番はメンバー交代。
おい早くどけよ。やっぱり誰もいない。
ほら見ろ、俺ら捨てられたんだよ。
みんな手伝って。私は現在位置の確認。ランは艦内状況を。
わかった。
I didn't see Johnson here, so Johnson must be in the lift ship.
俺が防御してる間に発射準備を。9の6、8、12を回せ。あいつさえ倒せば。
ラスマイでそっちに送るから外すんじゃねえぞ。
誰に言ってんだよ。
敵のバイタルガーダーが。
キャノンの装填は。
It almost feels like it's spread out, like it's...
負けらんねえ。見せつけるんだ。そして手に入れる何もかも。
敵と戦ってるのかな。
多分ね。
ダメだ、フィールドが展開しない。
出力を上げられないか。
艦内の重力維持で手一杯だ。バイタルガーダーは
Well, then get rid of gravity. Dealt with without gravity on the Liba Delta.
なんだキャプチャーか。
僕何か手伝おうか。
ここは任せてくれよ。艦内環境はそのままで戦闘中域から脱出する。私は軌道変更ソリッドを組めない。ランやってくれるか。
わかった。おい、通信入ってるみたいだぞ。え、
Luxon in charge. Love it.
相葉浩二です。
相葉君、でもなんでそんなところに。あなたはまだ。
リフト館に行きたいんです。ぜひ協力してください。
何を
お願いします。どうしても行かないといけないんです。伝えたいことがあるんです。
そう伝えたいことがある。
What? I mean, I just don't know what. I feel like the Sphinxes are having their own thing that we just don't really understand. Like, it very much clearly feels like the Conrad's ship Sphinx is mimicking his thing. Well, I guess that's the thing, like the imprint on the people on board the ship. That Conrad's is mimicking his hatred or his want for revenge. Well, Nea not only is mimicking Koji's want to survive, but her own thing as well, which the other Sphinxes don't do. Now, granted, Conrad's is the only other one that seems to have like a human form to it, so it's kind of hard to parse that little aspect. But I don't know what message Koji wants to deliver that Nea would also be like trying to express.
ゲシュフェンストとの戦闘が激化する最中、俺は葵と共にリフト館へと向かった。あそこには俺が向かい合わなければならない全てがある。だから俺は俺であるために今。
I was very confused. How we saw everybody that was on the bridge of the Ryvius all had their ass kicked. I was like, wait, who's there? I guess maybe it could have been Blue. But then we see them with their hands up and the guys pointing guns at them. It's like, oh, that's right, they're getting captured. Granted, I don't know if that's better or worse. I was down for what I thought was going to happen, which is to say everybody on the lift ship gets killed. That's why I was like, where's Johnson at? Because I'm thinking, who's the most reprehensible person I can think of right now? And most of them are on the lift ship. Now, so granted, there are people on the lift ship I don't think would deserve the fate that I'm portraying should happen to them. But at the same time, all of the best people are on the Ryvius bridge. Like, nobody, beyond maybe Nyx, whose only just crime is that he was annoying, right? Nyx didn't actively hurt anybody. It feels like those without sin are on the Ryvius bridge. So, yeah. I mean, next episode is the penultimate episode, right? Whatever we're going to establish is our way out. I feel like we have to establish it there. And the only thing that changes is that the Ryvius core, the core of the Ryvius ship, is going to be captured. So, whatever we establish as our way through with those people has to be it. Now, granted, I was anticipating, when I said that the first time, that the people capturing them are going to be the same people Conrad is with. It's entirely possible it gets out of the battle zone and they get to Uranus, and that's the people Fina was on side with are the ones that capture them. And we know that Fina is actually not on side with them. She's gone fucking insane. She's wanted for murder, I think. So, I guess it could be anything. Yeah, Criff, a lot better of a surgeon than you would have guessed, but hey, we haven't seen much of her. I appreciate the Criff redemption arc, as I said before. Charlie has a good influence on her, so I appreciate that as well. Otherwise, I don't think I have that much to go over here. It was a good episode. A lot less confusing elements than I thought there would be, considering how everything's been super confusing so far. And otherwise, I'm very much interested to see how this all resolves. It feels like it's going to be a whole 3-episode arc about how everything ends. So, that said, I think that's what we're going to call it. So, once again, I've been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?